Well, I think at its core, this is a bet about the long-term view of where digital assets and blockchain technologies are going to change how financial institutions manage and certainly transact. At the core, we think there's going to be a lot of examples where through tokenization, you're going to see assets that we think about trading today that are tokenized. And institutions need to think about how they store digital assets today, known as cryptocurrencies, but also those tokens of the future. BlackRock's CEO, Larry Fink, talked about this being a multi-trillion-dollar asset business, and we think it's going to continue to grow. It's a great fit for us because it's really where Ripple has been throughout our history of focusing on infrastructure and solving real problems for real customers.
This technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem. You don't need trust banks.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And we have Brad Garlinghouse speaking of tokenization. Everything is going to be tokenized and put on blockchain. And guys, when you look at tokenization, smart contracts, DeFi, it will transform the global economy. Remember, guys, this technology can be used for good or evil. Remember, you're going to be able to own real estate and own a piece of a business anywhere in the globe due to blockchain and tokenization. And we have Brad Garlinghouse saying he's investing where his customers are at. And guys, we know that's the emerging markets. 95% of their customers are overseas. And we know once the emerging markets, the BRICS nations, flip the switch on this digital transformation, that's when Bitcoin and crypto are going to take off. Anthony Scaramucci speaks about the adoption of Bitcoin and cryptos globally, but what he doesn't talk about is the fourth industrial revolution. And he states as adoption picks up, Bitcoin is going to pick up. And guys, we know why. Because we're witnessing the fall of America to Babylon 2.0 and the fall of the United States world reserve currency. But remember, it is all done on purpose. And the rise of the BRICS nations along with the emerging markets led by China the Dragon. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you because he knows when it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Look, I think it's fair to say that the U.S. has made it as confusing as possible as to what the rules of the road are for the crypto industry. And frankly, it's why you're seeing entrepreneurship and investment flowing into other jurisdictions. Certainly, Europe has been a significant beneficiary of the confusion that has existed in the United States. And yes, as you described, the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission has really been at the forefront of that confusion. And unfortunately, that has encouraged companies like Ripple to invest more outside of the United States. About 95% of our customers are non-U.S. And this year, most of our hiring will be non-U.S. for some of those exact same reasons. Ripple, prior to this acquisition, we have about 800 employees. Medico has about 100 employees, as you described, almost all outside the United States, primarily in and around Europe. So we think it's a perfect fit, both from the type of customer, where we're trying to grow, where our customers are today. And so we're certainly very excited about it. I think it's a really important question because I think we conflate what happened with FTX as a crypto problem. And really, look, from my point of view, at its core, what happened with FTX is called a fraud. And frauds happen in lots of different, unfortunately, asset classes. It's not, unfortunately, specific to crypto. But when I talk about providing clarity and rules of the road, the rules of the road for FTX were clear. They just broke those rules. The challenge here in the United States, where Europe really has provided leadership, and countries like UAE, certainly the growth you're seeing in Dubai, but even the UK and Singapore, they're providing the clarity about how they will regulate these digital assets. And that allows, through those rules of the road, that allows entrepreneurs, that allows investors to go engage constructively with regulators. And again, the reason why Medico has been such a perfect fit for Ripple is from its beginning, it's been focused on infrastructure, enterprise, and working with the regulators. These are all regulated entities. That's true of Ripple's customers today, and the reason that we think Medico is such a perfect fit, we're willing to pay $250 million, was because they also have that same DNA and that same ethos of focusing on an enterprise customer, working with regulators, and really being very global from the start.
What about a pivot here? Is Skybridge looking to capitalize on something new, given what had happened to crypto, what had happened with the tour with FTX here into the end of last year? I know Bitcoin is up this year, but it's kind of flatlined, more recently. Do you stick with it?
Well, I'm sticking with it. It's interesting. I haven't changed the portfolio at all, and I think we've been rewarded by that because a lot of things happened last year. You're mentioning the Sam Bankman-Fried thing, but it was almost like if John Merriweather and Bernie Madoff had a baby, it was Sam Bankman-Fried. You got everything in that story. You got fraud, you got over leverage, you got excess confidence, and it caused a really big depression in the markets, and the markets probably overshot to the downside. And so we think intrinsically Bitcoin's worth about $40,000. It's trending right now 25 to 27. But what we do see is better miner activity. We see wallet expansion. You and I have talked about this off the air, so let's repeat it. You have 4% global absorption for Bitcoin, about 340 million wallets. That's roughly where the internet was in 1998. We just have to get from 4 to 8%, and you'll see explosive returns in Bitcoin. So I want people to be patient, but I get it. It's a great news story, great media story that it's not doing well right now, but I think this is where the rubber meets the road, and I'm hoping you guys will invite me back if I'm right, because it's fun to dunk people when they're wrong, but if I'm right on this, I want you to invite me back.
We're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go, but clearly we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the fourth industrial revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.